And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Watch him now, Barney!
They go play action here on 1st down. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Timmy Jernigan in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Gun!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He completes it to Julio Jones. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
All right, here we go. 3-19!
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on him. Now just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Clinton Dix there for the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hammond, and he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
A toss play. Here's Perine. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And this is going to be incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is going to be incomplete. The Redskins go for it, but it doesn't pan out. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Great.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Great 15. Great 15. Great 15. Great 15.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Flushed out right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way down to the 39. A big play there for the Eagles on 3rd down. 46 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Hey, Ford, Tokyo!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Now it's Ajayi. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things off.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
It's a sneak. It's Wentz. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Carson Wentz. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Timmy Jernigan in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Lucky 56.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll begin the drive with a jive. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
On 1st down, Wentz rolling to his left. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. So as they take it over, we step aside. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They run with a jive. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Going to throw right side here, complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Now Wentz looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They start on the ground with Pirine. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd in just about a few inches here. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They'll set up a throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. He's going to field this at the 4. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
15 yards is the pick up there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
Lion.
Wentz now on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's a Giant. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Hang in there now.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Eluding the pressure right. Strong coverage by Washington, and now 4th down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And Elliott puts this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Back to that Philly. Here we go. Gone.
Looking to throw. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Back to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's taken it around the 40. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that...
Jay's going to go. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Wentz going to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it here with Pirine. And he'll get this one up to the 26. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. Here's Tressway now. And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. They'll wind up losing about a dozen on the play. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
81.
Working from the gun. Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Eagles add on to their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They'll come out throwing here on first down. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Gone!
Back to throw now on second and 10. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll start out on the ground with a Giant. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Eagles on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Wentz. Back has it. And nothing but daylight ahead. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Elliott now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Detroit!
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. He's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every...
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Derek Barnett in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Gone!
Now back to throw. Jordan Reed has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. Ajayi, 1st down and more. Jay Ajayi's going to go. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles are pouring it on. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, they had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They're going to look to throw. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The Redskins on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. They'll set up to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads will be fairly clear every time we have to leave the booth.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
They run again with a jive. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
This is a jive, and the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. The Eagles send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Returnable here from the 38. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Elsewhere at Arrowhead, they're in the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs have extended their lead in that one. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. A good starting spot for the Redskins as they come up 1st and 10.
4 down, 4 down. Check. 4 down, 4 down.
Back to throw. Setting up the screen to Pirine. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. On the move to his left. Looking downfield for Jones. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Julio Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead's down to 24. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Eagles. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now at FedEx Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Second and 6, just inside the 30. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at the 26. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. So after the run by Jay Ajayi, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. They'll try to run with a J. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jay Ajayi, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Eagles continue to roll. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
He'll look to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better. And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
4 down. Set! Blue, line it!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. And they'll go on the ground. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now let's go! Green!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He'll get this out to his running back, Pirine. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Over the middle, complete. That's Hammond. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Now a play fake here on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. They'll drop the throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That's to his running back, complete. Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
They'll set up a throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Philadelphia, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Washington, the loss here is their 10th of the season. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the